Welcome back to Namielus MATLAB. We are continuing with our fraction multiplication graphically, and this is number 4 which we are going to attempt. You can always find our work on our YouTube channel, Namielus Educational, and then if you want to reach us on WhatsApp or by call, you can look at the top right of your screen. Now let's proceed with number 4. What we have is one whole number, 3 out of 5, times 5 out of 6. Now, we are going to represent this, first of all, graphically, and we see how we are going to manipulate it. Get ready. We now have one whole, which is this one, and then 3/5, which is this one, represented, and then multiplied by 5 out of 6, which is 5/6, which is this. Now, what we are going to do in order to carry out this multiplication, we are going to get this 5 out of 6 and then map it on this and then map it on this. Map it on the 1 and then map it on the 3 out of 5. Let's see how we are going to do it. Now, this is the whole, which is one whole number, and then this is the 5 out of 6. So we are going to get the 5 out of 6 and then fit it exactly onto the 1. And then what do we get? We are going to see how many regions or portions are shaded twice. As you can see, the regions which are shaded twice are these regions here, this region here, as you can see, which I'm circling there. It is the region which is shaded twice. And then let's fit this 5 over 6 onto the next, which will give us this. And now let's look at the region which is shaded twice. If you look at it here, let's have that region which is shaded twice. It is here. And now we are going to start the counting. When you count here, you are going to see the squares. The small squares are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then going down, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means there are 5 by 5, which is 25. 25 out of 3, which is out of 30, which is that. And then when we look at this, when we count the rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the column is 1, 2, 3, which gives us 3 by 5, which is 15 out of 30. So out of the total, which is 30. So that is what we have here. We are now going to add, because the denominators are the same. So if the denominators are the same, that means we just take the numerators directly and add them. If we add 25 and 15, it will give us 40. So we shall have 40 over 30, which when dealt with further, it will give one whole number, remainder 10 out of 30. So 10 out of 30 can be further reduced to lowest terms as 1 out of 3 when you cancel the 0. Then finally our answer becomes 1 1/3. And finally this gives us the solution for one whole number, 3 out of 5 by 5 out of 6. Our answer will be 1 whole number 1/3. That is our answer. Our next number is number 5. What we are going to do is we are going to multiply 1 1/4 by 5, by 8 out of 5, or 8/5. This can be dealt with as you see here. We are looking at 1 1/4, and then 8 out of 5 is represented as one whole number, and then 3 out of 5. So that is how we are going to represent it, and then graphically, and then we can manipulate our graphs to get the answers. So let's start. So this is what we have. We have one whole number and then a quarter for the first fraction. And then the second fraction, which is 1 3/5, is one whole number here graphically, and then 3 out of 5, which is this. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to do the multiplication of all these by this. So the first thing we shall do, we shall have this one going into each of these two, and then next it will be 3 out of 5 going into each of these two. So let's make that arrangement, and we see how we can get our final answers, as you are going to see. Now what we are going to do is, let's multiply this one by this one, which will be this. And then let's multiply the same one by this quarter. So we shall have this. So that means what we have done first is we have multiplied this one by each of these two representations, and this is what we have. Then next we are going to multiply each of these two by 3 out of 5, this one here. Let's see how we are going to do it. So let's have the 3 out of 5 multiplied by the first one, which is 1, this one here, and then the 3 out of 5 multiplied by the quarter here. So that means each of these graphs has multiplied each of these graphs in the first fraction. Now we are going to start the counting of the counting of all what has been shaded twice. Shaded twice, the double shading. Okay, let's start. Adding together all these fractions, we are going to have the first 20, which is 20, this one here, plus 5, plus 12, plus 3. Those are the numerators, over 20. Then the numerators will give you 40 out of 20, which will equal to 2. So 2 is the answer. That's what we have. 1 1/4 times 8 out of 5, it ends up giving us a 2. That's how we are doing it. How we are doing it graphically. Now we are going to pause this video and then try out the following fractions graphically. Numbers 1 up to 4. Work them out following the same steps we have been doing as a graphical method. And then number 5, try to repeat them using calculations and see whether you are getting the same answers, and then try to relate the two. The graphical will be so easy to follow up, and then the calculation will beef it up. Thank you very much. Let's wait for the next session.